let's go ahead and get going. Alright, hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening. And here we go with another one of these. So, we're going to be doing some painting. And I'll hop in here in the Discord if anyone wishes to chat live. There we go. Alright. Okay. Let me refresh my chat window here. There we go. Okay, everyone. So tonight we're painting some convocation, and specifically we are painting Clea here, which we just barely started a couple of seconds ago. And it looks like our audio bitrate is lower than the recommended rate, but that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna just continue painting on as if nothing happened. All right. So up next is I need to paint her lips. Before we start doing the cleanup on the face. And generally I don't do this, I try not to do too much of this during streams because it is in super tight and I screw this up quite a bit. But you are just lucky enough to be tuning in to see this right now. So let's see. I mean, that looks like the right color there. Good old entrail pink. You don't need much. You don't need much. Just need a little tiny little drop. There you go. Just enough to cover these tiny little lips here. It's like next to nothing you put on the brush. And I'm sorry if you cannot see this on camera. I know things are very light and reflective. But okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and do some cleanup on Clea's face here. Using the AK Interactive Beige Red, which is like one of the best base colors for skin, in my opinion. I mean, I've raved about AK Interactive for plenty of streams now. Still some of my favorite. Okay, and then we're gonna right, so we're doing a little cleanup on the face. Kind of looks like she has a milk mustache right now. So we'll get rid of that. We're gonna clean up the area there around the nose. And I know that face detail isn't totally viewable on camera, but it is there nevertheless. I just need a tiny little sliver of black here I still need to seal off the area behind the half covered eye. There we go. Okay. All right, it's not terrible. I want just a tiny little, like a speck of white over here. just so you believe there's an eye somewhere in there. Right? Maybe not. I mean, maybe you don't see it at all, right? Okay. See if I can get, I mean, I could probably do a little bit better detail on this face. Yeah, because right now it just looks like, just does not look great. So we are going to spend a little bit extra time on the face. All right. There we go. That's actually significantly better, just doing that. Okay. And then, yeah, because that just helps reinforce the idea that there is in fact a face there. Okay, and I'm gonna have to hold her upside down to get this part of the eye. There we go. Okay, good. And now I can do a little more cleanup with this beige red. All right. I just want to give her face a little bit of character to it. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and start to brighten up the face a little bit. So from beige red, we're going to go blend in just a little bit of basic skin tone. Not much. Does not require much. Okay. I guess that's kind of one of the main points is it does not actually require much to do this. So I'm going to, like I said, basic skin tone into beige red. That's going to give me this little highlight color. The light's too bright. Yeah, it is. Sorry about that, Mike. I know it may be a little too directly. Let's see if I can do. Let me see if I can turn down the brightness on the camera and see if that helps. Okay, hang on one second. Let's turn. I had the brightness down to 50%, but let's take it down a little bit further. There. So now you can kind of see. I know it's kind of far, but you can kind of see what I'm working on. Painting facial details is just not something that I do that well on stream. Right? So please bear with me. I typically do not do this sort of work. Well, sometimes I do, right? I turn the camera on wherever I happen to be in the process of the model. So it is what it is, basically. All right. So we get a little bit. Ooh. Sometimes I just can't get that angle right there, and I think I cut off a bit of the lip that I'd painted on. So let's do that. And her facial features are actually fairly soft. So it's not like I'm going to be really highlighting the deep crevices of her face or anything like that. It's just going to be, right? It's just going to be your typical kind of soft featured female face there. Okay. And let's go ahead and get a base color on her hair. And I'm gonna want, so she has, you know, she has pretty gray hair. In fact, I think what I want to do is I'm gonna leave her hair white for now. We'll get back to that in a second. What I need to do first is actually I want to start blocking out the purple areas of interest here. Okay, so let's look at what may be the best way to kind of block this out. So let's try to find a good purple for this. Okay. I'm always looking for good purples. So what are you working on tonight, Mike K? You doing any painting or just came to hang out? Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see who else decides to pop in tonight. I mean, I should have. Thought I had a decent purple. Here we go. I can use this lich purple and kind of highlight up, I suppose. Probably a good way to go. So it looks like mostly gloves and actually, you know, I should do those. It looks like that's all purple. It's like different shades of purple from looking at the. It looks like really the bodice is mostly purple. Just watching? Oh, for tips? Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm a fairly mediocre painter, but I might know something if you ask me, or at least I'll give you my answer, which is an answer. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead. So I'm just gonna base coat the bodice for now. We'll do the bodice. And I'm trying to get, oh, I see. Okay. I'll get it. Yeah, so it's almost just like a corset, really. That's a pretty runny purple. Ooh, yeah, that's a really runny purple. Hold on. Let's thicken this up a little bit because it's just going to slide all over that. Right? I'm not going for a contrast paint here. I'm actually just trying to get some base color down. Like to see how other people paint. I know. I totally agree. Actually, you can learn from watching anyone paint, because everybody kind of has a different approach to things. And you know, I've been painting for quite a while, and I'm still always learning a new tip or a new trick on how to do something. You know, despite having my own kind of approach to how I want to paint something, there's always a newer thing to check out. I wonder, you know, I streamed painting Moon Knight probably about a month ago, and I think with my lighting as bright as it was, you probably saw none of it. You know, because it's just white. It's essentially different whites, or in my case, I did like a really, really light blue over. I did a really, really light blue over a zenithal white prime, and you really can't see much at all. So, all right. So this part, let's just do the parts that are definitely purple. That's purple. We've got some purple gloves here. And then you have the eldritch symbol themselves, which we'll treat a little bit differently, right? I kind of have a different idea for that because I still want everything to look kind of purple, but we're gonna play around a little bit with that whole idea. Okay, so purple gloves. Now, is she doing the Spider-Man thwip or the metal symbol, or like what? How would you interpret this? Right? I see this as the thwip personally, but I can also, given how cool she is and right, the whole convocation theme, I mean, she's a bit metal. All right, and then what else is purple on this? Her cloak is technically purple, and then it's like faded, it fades out, right? So I could continue with the same purple. I'm just not sure. I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt to do that. So I could continue with the same purple and kind of extend it out to here, and then this gets much lighter as you approach the ends. It's not too bad. Let's play it out. Let's see what we get. That's kind of how often that's my painting process is. I'll come up with an idea of how to do something and then paint it out and see if it happens. And if it doesn't happen, then it's just paint, right? You can just go back and fix it. Not the end of the world. The interesting thing here is kind of how the cloak fades out to almost like a magenta color. So let's look at that. Let's start with this. Again, this is a pretty thin purple. The name of this purple is I'll never know. I'll never know. I can't read that. I cannot read that. I will not. I'm so sorry. It's similar to a lich purple. Similar. I wouldn't say it's the same purple as a lich purple, but there's also the Vallejo color Warlord purple that this is similar to. But you can see it's not all that dark, right? I've thinned it out a bit so that so we could tone it up or down depending on what we want to do. And considering her other main color is black, that's going to allow us to play around with this a little bit more, right? We're going to have a little bit of leeway to play here. So are you MCP player, Mike, or what? And if so, what affiliations do you like to run? And if not, what do you play? And or paint, or maybe just paint. I don't know. Some people hop in here and they just paint, and they just want to see what other people are painting, right? That's a thing. Okay. For now, I am not yet gonna mess with the spell effects or the flames yet. Right now, we are just focusing in on this purple. Okay. In fact, we're gonna let that purple dry. and we're going to move over to painting the black. Okay, and there are so many different ways to do black. Looking at the black on her, I mean, it's nothing, really nothing to write home about. Right? It's not like shiny leather black or anything like that. It's just black. There's not much to say there. Now, is this area of her leggings? It looks like this is also supposed to be purple, so we'll continue. We'll continue with the purple down this way. And it's okay if I screw up a little bit because it's much easier to fix overpainted purple with black than it is to paint purple over black. Right, so I am gonna overpaint this a little bit just to make sure we're good there. Never ever played War Machine for years. Now you're painting your Cthulhu Wars models. Oh, cool. Some Kingdom Death. Nice. Did you drop out of Warma Hordes due to Mark III? And I will not judge you if you say yes. A lot of my big time Warma Horde friends did that. We're not happy with the changes. So, and I don't have an opinion either way on Warma Hordes. I played a very little bit of Mark II. Painted a few different armies. My favorite thing to paint was Rhett, because I'm a masochist and I like painting white. So yeah. Never played Cthulhu Wars. Always loved the minis. Never had a chance to paint those. In Kingdom Death, I painted a fair bit of the Kingdom Death core set and some of the pinups and the limited models, but and I wanted to try. In fact, I had made promises like, oh, I'm going to do this campaign on my channel and we're going to play it live and all that stuff. And man, when I started to look at playing Kingdom Death, the level of commitment scared me. Right? I don't have any problems with campaigns, with immersive campaigns, and role-playing-esque campaigns. In fact, I have quite a deal of respect for those types of games. They just scare me. The commitment scares me. So I ended up painting a lot of Kingdom Death, and then I sold it. Because as far as progressive campaigns are concerned, the only games that really I've been able to do that with have been my son and I playing Shadows of Brimstone, and then our local group playing some Infinity Defiance. And obviously both of those games are much lighter games than Kingdom Death. So some respect for you there for playing the great Kingdom Death game. All right, so we just cut that in. So this purple is it'll start to pop a little bit more. Still like the game post Mark III, just had my gaming group dissolve. Oh, ran Menoth and Circle. Cool. Circle was very fun to paint. I painted only for Menoth. I think I only painted a starter. And Menoth, from a painting standpoint, can be fun. But if I'm being honest with you, some of the hard bordering just kind of got to me after a while. Okay, so cream color, you know, and red border, red border, red border, red border. And it's like, oof, yeah. That's why I liked painting red, because even though it was white, this is how my messed up mind works. Even though it was white, being able to blend, blend the softer edges and some of the cool lighting, the fluorescent, like blue greens, those were cool. I know I painted, so I painted a Ron tier list as my main, but I had a few different casters as well. But it was a lot of bald elves doing the hula dance with power fists, which I liked. Cthulhu Wars, top 3 game. That's awesome. Does anyone in your group or in your area have interest in playing MCP? I know a lot of War Machine players move over and start playing some MCP. A lot of our local meta have folks that were kind of more diehard Warlords players. I was a pretty big Guild Ball player, and I moved over from Guild Ball, so a lot of Guild Ball players moved over to MCP as well. I mean, it's a good, convenient, like clean game, which is fun. And then there's um, the collectability aspect of it, right? Painting the fun Marvel IP stuff. Uh, Red's a pain. Red is a nightmare. The white, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I painted when I started hobby. Um, I played 40K and fantasy, and I like to play elf stuff, right? So my first army was Iandan 40K army, which is bright yellow, and my first fantasy army was a high elf army, which was white. So I was really uh, a bit of a masochist with regards to painting difficult colors that you just have to layer and layer and layer up to get right. Right. This is really before the days of um, where too many people knew what to do with an airbrush, and I definitely did not. So I couldn't. For me, there really wasn't much shortcut back in those days. You just had to find a good reliable white paint and a good reliable yellow paint and layer up. But now there's all kinds of cool tricks you can do to, if you're painting white or whatever. There's contrast paints to help you get there. Um, there are lots of new sets of paints that kind of help you guide your color selection. Okay, I want another layer of skin. Her skin is a little too dark. Honestly, with COVID, I've avoided gaming. Okay, that's fair. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, locally um, we've we've done what we can, I guess, to take some precautions with in-person gaming. Um, and so far it's been okay. I don't blame people for um, taking the proper precaution. I'm kind of fortunate that our LGS actually is spaced out pretty well. The way it's laid out is pretty good. So you know, you can distance well, right? And they're good about their mask policy and all that. So right. And then the good news is, you know, people are respectful. Gotta run. All right, man. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck on your painting, and yeah, hope to catch you on another one. Cool. All right. So let's continue. Let's get some of this initial gray on her hair, which is really just going to be Starship filled. And then we're going to go back to purple, get back to working on the purple. Right, so this will give me a base, right? And we're gonna bring our hair back over to white. But first, we're really just gonna shade. Use this to shade down. Okay. Right. So now we've got a bunch of things kind of working at the same time here. And I think the other thing I can do is I can turn my lighting up a little bit. So there we go. I'll turn the brightness up a little bit on that. Okay. We're looking pretty good. She's a very simple design. Right, so let's go ahead and start. Yeah, let's start with the bright, kind of purpley, almost like I said. I like the magenta, like Scarlet Witch. You'll see. We'll see. Just here, trust in the process. Come hang out with me while I'm doing this. So, all right. If it screws up, it screws up. But we're going to go in with this fluorescent magenta. And you're going to see this is going to look hot pink. And you're going to be like, oh man, you screwed it up. Like I said, I'm going to ask you, just go ahead and trust in the process. And you can see how it just kind of globs? It's because it wants you to push the paint around. Okay? Just push it around the object. You notice how I did that all in one, that's all in one loading. Because what you're really trying to do here, trying to get some mileage out of that paint, right? Okay, so here we go. We're still trusting in the process. I'm going to load a little bit more this time, and we're going to do the footses, and it's going to look super bright. What I love about these paints is keep going, right? Do not give up. Let your paint, let it do what it's going to do. If you get in the wrong area, that's okay, right? It's all plumy magic stuff. It's gonna kind of get everywhere, right? It's okay. Just trust in your process, right? Happy accidents, right? As we like to say, it's not the end of the world here. Okay. A little more. More plume. Okay. And you can kind of see now where, okay, this is going to be the super bright parts of the flame. and we're going to start to massage that out towards a purple. Okay. All right. Is that not a, I mean, it's a cool, she's a cool sculpt. Right? She's real simple sculpt, real simple design, but just the ability to kind of play around with the lighting and the spells. And, you know, for what it's worth, the pose is pretty cool. All right. Here we go. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Hey, what's up? Mem, huh? What's up, Mem? Welcome to the feed. Okay, so let's start to work on bringing that purple up. Okay, so we want just a lighter purple. We're going to start to blend a little bit of pink into it. So I'm going to use this really cool Susan G. Komen pink from Reaper to mix in with this Reaper purple, which is purple. I have no idea. It's color 09823. Herbert purple, which I will not, I have no idea what it is now. Okay. All right, so starting to mix a little bit of purple, I'm sorry, pink into the purple. That's going to give us a lighter color. Okay, and we just start building it up. Okay. And then we're actually going to shade it back down with a little bit of purple because I like the general idea here that we've got. Okay. Okay. What are you working on, Mem? Anything fun? Obviously, I'm working on some Clea here from Marvel Crisis Protocol. From the recently released Convocation stuff. I mean, it's been out in the UK for a little bit, but for us, it's over here in the States, it's a bit newer. So yeah, let's just work this broad highlight up, right? And you can see it's doing a nice job kind of filling in that purple. Right, so we can make this whole thing feel a little bit more solid. Okay, right, the trick with these purples and stuff is not to over highlight them, and then I'll show you what we do to kind of keep the intensity up on these. Okay, because if you don't do this next part, it's gonna be not great. So anyway, we do another quick layer of this really dark gray. Oops, wait. Oh, no, I screwed up. But that's okay. I'll still use it. we're going to use this rubber black, which I had not intended on using. I was going to do another coat of dark gray, but this will work as well, right? It's going to get me to a similar place, if not better, right? Because now the leggings look much darker, which is great. So we'll keep working on that. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? This is, yeah, it's looking pretty good. We'll get back to hair in a minute. Let's, a couple of things to fix here. Right back here. Okay. All right. Looking pretty good. Okay. Let's get the hair back in order. As you can see, the wash I used kind of left it a little shiny. Ooh. So I'm going to use this silver gray from AK. To get the hair back up to speed. This is a nice base color for white hair. So I don't want to undo too much of the wash, but I also want to, you know, reintroduce the idea that this is white hair and not gray hair we are dealing with here. Okay. All right. Looking pretty good. Okay. There we go. All right. Not bad. Let's, folks, I need to check on something real quick, okay? So let me do that. And so I'm going to go AFK for just a second here. Let me mute my mic, and I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, and we're back. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is let's work on the base a little bit. So we're going to do a couple things. One, I want to get some steel down on that grill. This is very simply done. You can actually just use AK black gray brush and airbrush color, right? Don't thin it, just straight out of the package. It's actually a really nice base color for the color steel, right? And that's it. Like, I can go back and highlight this if I what? Right? That's pretty simple. So we'll do that. And let's do, for the concrete, we're going to do a little basilicanum gray. Let's go ahead and do that. So this is, we really want to stay with a gray concrete. So I'm not going to, I'm actually, you can see how far I want to push it, right? I'm going to put it on, but I'm going to not do what they tell you to do, which is one thick coat. I'm going to do one thin coat, push it all the way around, try to get it into the character and crevices. Okay. Right. And that just does a great job on this concrete. Really kind of giving you the impression that that's what we're dealing with, that we're dealing with concrete. Okay? When that's dry. Now, let's start to work on the flames a little bit here. Okay, like I said, we're going to go to purple. So, purple ink from AK. We're actually going to use a couple of different inks at this point. This purple ink, the AK purple ink, is actually quite light, which is good. This actually allows us to do a couple of different things. Okay, so I'm going to use this purple ink here. And you may not even see much of this difference on camera, which is okay. There you can actually kind of see it. That's not really the point. The point is we're using this to intensify certain areas of the spell effect and the fire here. Right? So I'm gonna kind of, and it'll help blend when we get to the deeper purple color. Okay? It's gonna help blend that out. Okay? All right. Let's go a little bit more pink into the purple on the clothing. Pretty clear. Hey, what's up, Nelson? And now we're gonna do our final highlight color on the purple clothing, which is really just pink. I mean, it's very, very close to pink. Okay. Right. So just the lightest. Just very thin. Okay. Cut this line here, this sharp line. Yeah, I mean, you know, I love little sculpts like this, where it's like real simple, just a good sculpt, right? Don't overthink it. Do a nice little sculpt, and an okay pose, right? You don't have to black cat this. It doesn't have to be a ridiculous pose. Let's bring that out. Okay, let's bring that out this way. that's like, it's getting pretty bright out here. Again, this is on purpose because that's kind of how the art is there, right? And I'll do a finer highlight out here, right? Really kind of want this to soften up towards a lighter area out there. And if it doesn't look like this is blended well, it's because it isn't. We will fix that. Okay, there we go. Okay, and let's highlight some of our gloves. Right. Actually gonna right. Now you can see now I'm actually getting a pretty good highlight there out to a blend. Right? Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much. And right now it definitely looks like I overdid that. I did the boob highlights. And if you do overdo the boob highlights, don't sweat it. It's just paint. You can always fix it. I don't think I overdid the boob highlights. I think Clea is very proud of my job there. I'm sure she's cool with that, but you'll see how we make all of that work. We're gonna apply a little painting magic here towards the end. All right, let's do another layer of black on the leggings. I'm actually using rubber black, which is such a phenomenally good color, right? Because it's not just pure black. Rubber black is really nice. It does give you a little bit of feeling and texture here, which is fantastic, right? And you get it to dry. You get that to dry nice and even. All right. Let's move over to hair. Man, we're running pretty quick now, team. We are almost there. We're almost there with Clea here, which is why she was a great choice for the live stream, because she's very simple and we can do a good job, right? Do a good job of just doing a good solid paint job. Nothing, no like giant fancy tricks here, but enough to help you kind of appreciate basic painting stuff if you didn't already. Okay. Okay. I like her. She's looking good. We're getting there. We're getting very, very close to there. Okay. So now I have a couple things I can do. I want to bring her magic back to purple. Okay? So we're going to take the magic and go back to purple. The best way to do this, and the coolest way to do this, is my main man, Piggy Purple Ink from P3. This is why when Jason found this, I forget what shop, he found a bunch of this, and I was like, just buy bottles. You'll see why. Let's do some Piggy Purple Ink, man. Okay. Piggy Purple Ink is dope. I'm going to add just just a touch, just a tiny little touch of water. You don't need to add much. Right? Okay, and we're going to do an overbrush of this piggy purple ink. Wow. Right? There, here. Right? And I'm basically just trying to convince you that that her magic is ultimately purple. That it's not pink. It's purple. Right? And that extra layer of AK ink that I did before is helping to remind you, yeah, it looks super pink, don't it? Don't it? But it's not. It's purple, guys. It's Mace Windu lightsaber purple. Okay? There you go. See that? See the difference between that and that? Okay? Love P3 washes. Thanks. Yeah. P3 inks, do not fall asleep on them. They are awesome. So now I'm using that piggy purple ink on the footses. Right? And now you're getting a little, there you go. See how cool that is? Man, it's just the subtle stuff like that that's dope, right? Now, let's say I want to, it's not bright enough, Octave. We gotta go brighter. Well, it's simple enough too. Just get a little bit of pink. If you really want bright, a little bit of pink. In fact, you can add a little bit of white to it if you want. I don't even think you have to, but you can, because it's plenty bright enough. And I'm going to get in down here and be like, no, it really is super light pink down here where the flames is so strong. Right? Right, so I'm going to get in down here. Right? Pretty good. Okay. All right. And still got P3 Piggy Purple up top. Now I could Piggy Purple there, but I want to, I actually want to do, thinking of doing something a little more subtle on the body, because I don't want to go too hard. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go violet there. It's funny because I know a lot of people love painting like the Modocs and like the big Dormammu and all that stuff. This stuff is actually my favorite stuff to paint. Just, right? Just a real simple design minis like this. I don't know, they're more fun to me because, I don't know, everything is more subtle and you get to play with like blends and lines and stuff as opposed to like having to hit all this meticulous detail. You can just do this. Look at that. Right? Right? It's just so subtle. It's just so subtle and it's just awesome. Right? I didn't do anything that spectacular here on this. But I don't know. What do you think? Clea. I think we're looking pretty good there. All right. Let's give her the victory lap. Let me see here. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. Right? Pretty happy with that. And there was no magic in that process. It was just, that's just what we did. Was not, that was not the most difficult thing in the world. All right. Okay, I actually do want to do something. Hold on. Since I know we've already sealed up the model, or we've done the black stripe. You're not allowed to paint the model anymore once you've done the black stripe. I just want to do something. Okay, so take your brush back into our favorite deal, Piggy Purple ink. I'm gonna pat off a bunch of it, and I'm just gonna very lightly, right, kind of shade in down here, right, almost like I'm kind of sketching it out, right, just a tiny little, hey, there's a little bit of light there, and you go as light as possible, right. I'm like just barely hitting, because you know how strong inks are, barely hitting that. Okay, I like it, man. I think we're good. I think we are good. I'll even do a little, get a little bit more off, and just do a little up here, right? Okay. Is anyone gonna see that? Probably not. I will. I I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool. But yeah, just kind of sketch out a little bit of ink there. Let's wash most of it off. Let's soft blend this outside here. Oh, that's fun to me. It's not even OSL. That's just us playing around with that little purple. Right? I mean, she ain't afraid of no Dormammu. Look at that. Speaking of which, how's Dormammu looking? Dormammu? Okay, he's still scary. This flame though, that is cool. Like the super bright green, and then it goes all the way to purple. That's pretty cool. Wow, even after sealing, this is not so good. It's still kind of, it's such a tight fit. It eats some of the black there. Let's just give him another fresh coat of black since he showed up here. There you go, Dormammu. Right? I took him down to presence 0. He's scary looking. Yeah. Dormammu is pretty dope. Okay. So we'll let that dry. I mean, that's basically all we're gonna do for tonight. And I know that wasn't a whole lot, but hey, Shadowcat. welcome to the feed. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, here's what we worked on tonight. There's some other, I honestly, we've already watched me paint Moon Knight on Twitch, and it's just not much to watch. I mean, you could do this. You could just go like this and paint the base. And nobody would question it. You're like, oh, cool job on Moon Knight. Because it's just the zenithal. Great job. Yeah, that's definitely Moon Knight. Actually, you know what? While we're here, while we're just chatting, I'll do this to Moon Knight. That way, and then I can just leave him alone until I'm gonna paint him and Blade off camera because there's no point in, because we already did it. We already did it on camera, right? So the other thing I'm gonna do to Moon Knight right now is I'm gonna hit him with some Space Wolf gray contrast paint, because that's kind of how you attack Moon Knight. I actually did mine a slightly different way, but here's another way you could do Moon Knight, right? Zenithal Prime, and then I like to hit it with a gloss varnish to help keep your contrast paints open, because I'm gonna push this contrast. See, I'm just like, when I use contrast paints now, I don't do one thick coat. I'm almost treating it more like a wash, pushing it around on the mini, right? Especially when you're dealing with white, right? And the last thing you want is, you don't want the weird, because contrast paint goes down almost like maple syrup sometimes, man. And you don't want to hit it after it's starting to get sticky, because you'll just rip off that coating that you just put on, and that is like the death of contrast paint. But you can see where I'm going here. This is just, that Space Wolf's gray is just going to give me a nice little template here, right? As long as I don't let it pool, it's giving me a nice little template. And instead of letting it like tone down too hard, I would rather keep pushing it around. And the gloss varnish helps keep the contrast paint open, because I do not want this stuff setting up. Worst I've done is hit contrast with a wash before. Ooh, yeah, that's horrible. Don't ever do that. What's up, man? Right? So just push this. Like, push this as far as it will go. Because that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's your detail on Moon Knight. Right? That's really it. Right? That's really it. You just push this and just don't let it pool. Come around, clean it up. All that mess right there. See all that mess? All that mess right there. Okay. Here, just for fun, let's color block him, and then you'll be like, you painting some golden boys? Nice. Here, we'll get Moon Knight, since we're just messing around now. We'll get Moon Knight to like totally undercoat it. Right? So now we just go in with Basilicanum Gray. do what we did on the other model. I could troll someone. Okay, if I didn't like someone, or or if they only paid me like $4 to paint this mini, right? I could hand them back this mini at this point. Go, there's your painted Moon Knight. Right? There you go. Right? You could, I could just send this home with somebody and go, there, Moon Knight done. Good job, buddy. We painted Clea. And that's convincing. You could be like, yeah, that's great. That's Moon Knight. And I wouldn't fault you, man. It'd be okay with that. $4 can't even buy an aqua fresca. Let's do, hey, he's here. We're just messing around. We were supposed to be done for the night, but it's all good. I only have 2 meetings tomorrow. Not that big a deal. Let's get really his main detail done, which is the black part of his face around his eyeballs. And if you do this right, you'll miss his eyeballs. Right? There. And he just has eyeballs. My guy, we're so close. He's so close to being done. Can we press on a little bit? We can press on. So my Moon Knight is going to be, Nelson's Moon Knight is going to be a little bit different than my Moon Knight. In that he's going to be a ever so slightly warmer color leading up to the white. Okay, it's actually going to be cool in a sense because, well, you'll see. Right. So let's see how this goes. So I'm just going to highlight with this this silver gray. Dude. Because this is just, Moon Knight is just fun painting, though. I don't know. I love, okay, it's one of the reasons why I can't leave Web Warriors right now. It's because Moon Knight is too much fun. He is too much fun to play. I always have a blast with him. My game against Nelson today, he wasn't great. He wasn't the best, but he's still fun, even in his off games, even bad games. He was having a field day in the earlier game. And he really makes Web Warriors super fun to play, in my opinion. He's really where it's at. I don't even think I would consider fielding a Web Warriors list without Moon Knight. The man is just too cool. Right? I could do his little crescents gold. I've seen some instances where they do that, where his little crescents are gold. I don't really like that. I just like messing with the tones, and until we get the proper Moon Knight look we want. Okay, so that's really what we're gonna do. Just gonna mess with tones till we get Moon Knight where we want him. Yeah, you didn't 2+ tower. Oh no, I missed Nelson. I did miss one critical one towards the end. There was one where I rolled only wilds, and you blocked all of it. And I was like, man, I didn't even get rapid fire. I don't know. I don't know why it's like just doing this kind of painting is super fun for me. Just kind of blending up. It's like super fun for me. He's the best crazy dude. Yeah, what I love about Moon Knight is he is so he's always just got power. He's super fun. I also one of the most hilarious things I did recently with Moon Knight was I did his builder attack, which frankly kind of sucks. You're better off just crescent, these little crescent things in the air. You're better off throwing those ad nauseum in the game. But I played another game where I just tried to do a builder attack, which is only 4 dice, and you need 3 symbols to do a stagger, and I got it. We laughed so hard, like I couldn't believe you pulled that off. And it was one of those things where it's like, well, I'm gonna try it. It's a super long shot, and then it happens. But here's why I think he's so good in Web Warriors is because, right, during all webbed up turn, that's a 6-die builder attack with a stagger. I mean, it's still hard to get what you need for the stagger. You still need 3 symbols for the stagger trigger, but obviously that's much easier to get on the all webbed up turn. And Moon Knight is your dude that powers up, typically will power up all webbed up because of his ability to just generate power ad nauseum. And I don't mind firing. I mean, he will do damage with those crescents. Just throwing enough of them at somebody. Man, yeah, we are totally gonna finish Moon Knight. This is super funny. We might as well. No reason not to finish Moon Knight. All right. Yeah, we're 90. Okay. And then all you do now highlight that up, right? Highlight up the white. Moon Knight is too cool. This is why it's too hard not to play Web Warriors, because you have Moon Knight and you have Felicia, which are just stupidly fun to play. And they're just 3 threats. You guys have any questions or anything while we're just here chilling and I'm sneaking in 1 extra model for tonight? Might as well. Right, I got stuff to get back to. I have to paint New Doc Ock for me. And I got the big old Sanctorum building. And then I got Chris is gonna be kicking down that freeze crew when that shows up. So I gotta paint that for him for LVO. I mean, on camera, you guys might not notice a difference at all with what I've done painting Moon Knight, but he is coming in really nice right now. I don't know. This is definitely my team. You know, them and Spider Foes, definitely my team. I might have to switch to Spider Foes for a while though, because I'm on a 3-game losing streak with my Web Warriors. So I should probably shelve them. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I'm on a 2-game losing streak. I snapped the 3-game losing streak the week before. Oh, hey, what's up, Dread? Merry Christmas, bro. Yeah. To you and yours too, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're in good health and good spirits. Man, do you, Dread, do you stream on Twitch? Because remember when you used to do them cool streams with and you'd always have great music playing, right? Whether it was Morrissey or Public Enemy or anything like that. I miss those, man. Yeah, I know you can't do them on YouTube. You can kind of do them on Twitch. They're not going to monetize you, unfortunately, but if you ever wanted to just do that, that's cool. We do watch parties on Twitch these days. All right, good night. Good night, Andrew. Have a good one, dude. All right. Whoop. What am I doing? Oh, I need. Just gonna do this. Boop. There we go. Yeah, cause we're gonna just paint for an hour and a half, right? That extra half hour at the end just let us seriously crank out Moon Knight. right? And who doesn't want to check out Moon Knight? Dude, so good. So good. One of my favorite 3-threat in the game by far. Right? All my good 3-threat are in Web Warriors, dude. You got Moon Knight, you got Felicia, you got Miles, you got Gwen. All good 3-threat in Web Warriors, right? The only other faction, well, no, Avengers have amazing 3-threats, but I still think for some of the best 3-threat in the game, including 3-threat splash characters, you can't go wrong with Web Warriors or Wakanda. That's my opinion. I mean, both have amazing splash characters. So, Senior, have you been using? Still bang out tunes? Still not monetized? All right, man. Have a good one, Mr. Dread. Merry Christmas again, dude. Not gonna lie, that looks sharp. That looks sharp. There's not. If you do the priming right on Moon Knight, ba-bam, right? Right? You just nice. Okay, and then we got Clea again. Okay, so who's left? Okay, we got Dr. Strang, like barely started jumping out of the dryer, and then looked like a dryer. Oh, I was gonna ask you, Nelson, do you want this fire to match? Should it match? Should it match this fire? Right? Do you want it to match that, or do you want the classic red-yellow, or sorry, yellow-orange fire? Let me know, right? So, because he's coming up very soon here. Blade's pretty simple, right? Not much to discuss on him. He'll happen soon. And then finally, the main man, MODOK. Looking forward to painting some MODOK. All right, guys. Yeah, 10:30. Nice. We did a little 90 minutes. We got 2 minis done, which is good. And 3 to go to finish this commission. And actually, it's a little more than 3 because I have to go back. I'm still kind of working on these Delio things, doing a little work on those before they go back to you, sir. But anyways, like an Evil Strange, give him the black robe and red interior. I'm not. Wait. Oh. Can you help me find some artwork for that? Because I'll do that. And we can do like Evil Strange. That'd be cool. Alright, man. Yeah. Just send me some artwork. Alright, guys. So that is going to end our stream. I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys. And we'll catch you on the next one.